students, the main objective of this lecture is to make the students of Bachelor of Performing Arts in Hindustani Music, paper 3rd, learnt about Indian Ragamala paintings, how the musical modes have been translated into lines and colors in paintings. Ragamala paintings are visual interpretations of human musical modes previously envisioned in divine or human form by magicians and poets. They show some romantic or devotional situations in somewhat stereotyped or aristocratic settings. These paintings were created in albums containing most often 36 or 42 folios, organized in systems of families. Each family is headed by a raga and contains 5 or 6 raganis, sometimes several ragaputras, even ragaputris and wives of sons. These were painted in the 16th century through 19th century in Rajasthan, central India, the Deccan and the Ganges Jamuna plains or in the Pahadi regions. The oldest document is Nat Shastra, which mentions about the system of the 6 ragas with 5 raganis, Matanga's Brihadesi, in which raga is from Ranga, color, Narda, Sangita, Markanda mentions a mala and 6 female ragas. Narada Pancham Sara Samhita refers terms Ragini. Sangita Ratnakara of Sarangadeva calls neutral ragas. So Mesa Karna compiled a treatise on Ragamala. Paintings like music and poetry has a long history in India. The murals in Ajanta cave paintings, abounded with the sensuous physical beauty, is an expression of a divine creation. Religion and sensuality go hand in hand in Indian aesthetics. It is interesting to note that the Jainas of the 14th century commissioned many copies of the Kalapa Sutra. Their margins were decorated with varieties of shapely dances. A Kalapa Sutra of 1475 AD was decorated on the back with another set of 36 female figures. Each of them is headed by multiple armed and multiple faced divine figures. Their inscriptions identify them as Ragamala, the oldest one. The iconographies of this earliest Ragamala appear to be without descendants. So here, group of scenes of united or separate lovers and their attendants on palaces, terraces, in front of shrines, in gardens and in forests. Vasanta Vilasa, a late 14th century poem of love, bliss and pain, was illustrated in Ahmedabad in 1451. Erotic paintings, more than a dozen of the later Ragamala iconographies, and there are more still in the descriptions of its 258 verses in the old Gujarati, Sanskrit and Prakrit. No musical terms are related with them. The Vasanta Vilasa took the state of unfulfillment. Ragamala paintings were designed for female clients to satisfy their inner urge and to reconcile the tightening moral standards and sometimes unfulfilled romantic love longing in the polygamous Rajput households. In fact, the husband and professional warrior far away from home too became the cause. In the second half of the 15th century, Jaina traders had imported paper from Persia to Gujarat and replaced palm leaf. It made Gujarati painting a style, and Jaina traders continued the pious custom of Kalapa Sutra copies. 2 dated manuscripts, one from Mandu in 1439 and the other from Chanpur in 1465, the Hindu too commissioned Krishna and poetry. The Bhagavad Purana are illustrated at the end of the 16th century in the style of the Chaurpantishka manuscript. Rajput painting from the 17th to the 19th century encompasses the bulk of surviving Ragamala paintings, which covers Malwa, Bundelkhand and Pahadi schools. Earliest Ragamala paintings oldest Ragamala paintings in the middle of the 16th century belongs to Akbar's rule. The very first now lost Ragamala of the Rajasthani tradition falls somewhere into the century before Akbar's accession. Ragini Bhairavi belongs to a style of illustrated manuscripts whose province is alternately given as Delhi, UP, Mandu, Mewar and Gujarat. The subsequent Ragamala productions of the late 16th and early 17th century come from all these locations. The regional schools and styles, the Deccan suffered a lot between the Aryans and Dravidians, Muslims and Hindus, Marathas and Rajputs, Islamic sultans in Bijapur, Golconda and Ahmednagar got cultural sophistications in 16th century. Bundi was dominated by Hara Rajputs. Here, Bundi played a very important role insofar as Ragamala paintings are concerned. Hara kings were fond of Ragamala paintings and achieved success so far as the style and content is concerned. Similarly, Kota also played significant role in the Ragamala paintings, which was ruled by Rao's Rajputs. Mewar, the oldest state, had been ruled by the Sisodiyas. They fought against the waves of Muslim invasions. Mewar alone under leadership of Rana Pratap and was admired by Rajput and Mughal alike in the period of Akbar. Mewari Ragamalas of 1605 is the valuable chair of Mewar in which Mughal and Rajasthani elements are amalgamated. It was painted by a Muslim painter named Nasiruddin. After Mewar's submission to Mughal domination in 1613, the influence of the provisional Mughal style gains the upper hand in Ragamala. Fine illustrated manuscripts like Nayaka Bheda, Bhagavata Purana and Ramayana were produced during this time. Malwa, the southern western portion of Rajasthan, remained center of many cultural and economic currents. Its arts were influenced by Rajputana, the Jainas of Gujarat, the Deccan and Jaunpur, ruled by Muslim, Turks and by Afghans. Mandu went through two distinct Muslim styles of painting. A new school of painting came into existence on the base of past cultures. When the state of Rajgarh broke in 1681 into 7 independent states, Ragamala style associated with one of the state, Narsinghgarh. The numerous Ragamala with the scroll pen decorating the bottom of each painting still belong to Rajgarh. Swai Jaising II of Amber pursued as Mughal governor of Malwa with various cultural interests. He collected many Ragamala manuscripts from Bundelkhand and Malwa and turned them into precursors of a new Ragamala style. Bikaner had no school of Ragamala, but its treasury was enriched by the many Mughal campaigns as they brought many Ragamala albums and folios. Sirohi produced a small number of Ragamalas at the end of the 17th century. Its compositional figures, architecture, flora, fauna, etc. are crowded. No texts are inscribed in any Sirohi Ragamalas. Only names and pages numbers are there. These Ragamala follow Rajasthani traditions. Number, the oldest capital, had the first Ragamala may have been painted during Jaising I. It belongs to Amber tradition. It was finished in 1709 and Amber Fort. Second Ragamala style came into vogue probably in Jaipur. It was based on Rajasthani tradition. A third style of Ragamala appeared from Jaipur in the reign of Pratap Singh. Bengal and Oudh, formerly provinces of the decaying Mughal Empire, became independent states. In the 18th century, Murshidabad and Lucknow developed their own variations of Ragamalas. Murshidabad Ragamala is a mixture of strong Rajasthani and late Mughal and 18th century Deccani influences. Lucknow painters owe their style of draftsmanship and techniques of anatomical shading, perspective and treatment of textiles to their preference for Mughal and European naturalism. These were the mixtures of Rajasthani and Amber traditions. The role of Bundelkhand too was very important so far as the Ragamala paintings are concerned. The Pahari region includes the states of Baisoli, Kullu, Bilaspur, Kangra and Garhwal. Local schools produced a few 84 folios, Ragamala, whose iconography has no relationship with anyone. The only major dated work is illustrated Rasamanjari manuscript from Baisoli. No Sikh Ragamala have been identified yet. The contents of the Ragamala paintings, each based on personification of a musical mode, were pregnant from their beginning with iconographic raw material of various origins. The most obvious among them are religious and aristocratic imagery in the actions and appearances of human characters and in architecture and paraphernalia. Poetic symbolism visualized Naya, Naika, love hero and heroines, type casting as found in drama, poetry and dance, the rasa, emotional states, and the performance time of the musical mode, the patron's personal or religious preference, the painter's technical and stylistic limitations, the local character of flora, fauna and landscape. Music contributed the concept of garland of ragas, the names of the ragas, some ragas the emotional flavors, some preference time and dhyanas, prayer formulas which personify the melody. Ragamala poetry based on the older dhyanas provided the iconographies which were ultimately used in Ragamala paintings. It is interesting to note that some raga names have been suggested certain visual themes to the painter. Vasanta, spring, Hindola, swing, Shri, Raga, Bhairava, an aspect of Shiva, Deepaka, lamp, Megha, cloud. The Nayak Bheda deals to feminine beauty, temperament, age, husband's quality and loyalty. For example, Utkanayika, she who expects and yearns for lover, is illustrated in Todi, Gauri, Gunakali and Kukumbha and many others. Ramkali is reminiscent of Khandatanayika, she whose lord has spent the night away from home. Abhisarika Naika, she who goes to seek her lover, is seen in Madhu Madhavi and Deepastika. Vasakasaya Naika, she who expects her lord and waits with better prepared, is variously pictured in Gord Malar, Gujari, Kamod, Tanka and Patmanjari. Hindu deities, ascetics and religious objects appear in many Ragamala paintings. Krishna, Shiva, Brahma, Vishnu and female deities such as Kali, Durga, Saraswati, etc. are shown in Ragamala paintings. In Ragini paintings, all the female deities reflect the moods and situations of women universally. They are alike. The ascetic Raginis, Bengal, Kamuj, Gormar, and who performs austerities to bring back the beloved Lord are close analogies to Parvati's life. Raginis Shankarabharana, Patmanjari and Ramkali are reminiscent of Radhas. Krishna is dark complexioned, wears 3-pronged peacock feather crown and indoor garment of saffron color. He beguiles women with his dance and the sound of his flute. Shiva, the ascetic god, is shown with his bull Nandi, wears crescent moon, skull necklace and snake bracelets. He is adorned with all the attributes and sometimes in hybrid form. Kama, the god of love, lends his lotus arrow and arrow-studded bow to the gentleman in Ragini Vivasa. The principal characters of Ragamala paintings are aristocratic lords and ladies, and also portraits of the patrons of these paintings. One can understand the social and cultural aspects of the society of that time as a mixture of aristocratic system has been enhanced. The aristocratic Rajput lord, absolute ruler of his household, represents his divine and patriarchal role, the lifestyle and principal environment. The place of women in the wealthy societies can be visualized through Ragamala paintings. The well-groomed gardens, shadowy briars, the decorated terraces, the unfulfilled desires, emotions, etc. show the status in the society. One can see the rich symbolism in their Ragamala paintings. 2 earthen jars symbolize breasts of young women. Similarly, peacock represent the lovers plotting with glamorous display of male beauty, and buzzing bees symbolize the passion of lovers, and lotus blooms are the epitome of beauty. Rain represents the harbinger of lovemaking, and lightning outlines passion. According to ancient texts, there are basically 6 ragas, and each ragas has 5 raginis and 8 raga putras. These principal ragas, Bhairava, Deepaka, Shri, Malkos, and Megha, Hendola, are meant to be sung during the 6 seasons of the year: summer, monsoon, Atman, early winter, and spring. Raga Megha is the melody of clouds and rains and is meant to be sung during the monsoons. Apart from the seasons, the ragas are also related to the different parts of the day. There are ragas and raginis that are supposed to be sung before the dawn, after dawn, in the afternoon, at night. In most Ragamala albums, Bhairava is the head of the first family of ragas and is visualized as a form of Lord Shiva. Sung prior to dawn to evoke vitality, the raga spells out the rhythmic image of Shiva in Bhairava form. In contrast to the divine image of Bhairava, Mal Konsa is represented as a human lord. Fair complexioned and aristocratic, his raginis are considered to tie in love color up. It is sung after midnight. Ragamala have a specific significance of their own. They express an artist's finer feelings in one form of art based on an entirely different form, thereby widening the horizon of creative representation. It is based on the Indian system of ragas. Each painting is associated with a specific melodic movement and has the same effect on the viewers as a raga when sung has on the listener. Thank you very much.